Hello and welcome to another episode of about my mental health and how I deal with things. Basically, on this one, I want to be talking about a bit about anxiety and a bit about why we suffer with that as a whole. Um, Anxiety comes in many forms. It's caused by stress and self neglect. Um, and things like that. I'm trying to focus on my positiveness towards my anxiety and things like that, and why I suffer with it. I suffer with it because I've been like what they would call instituted, sort of almost like that, because I've been in mental hospitals since I was 18 or 18, 19, going through mental hospitals one after the other, all trying to help. And then what really helped me was last year, where I was in Brackenhouse and in Mansfield, and they helped me a lot at the time about how to be a better person and come to achieve my goals. Even if there were small goals, that I could still achieve them, which is what I'm trying to do. Is take those steps, eat those little steps each time to keep myself going, even though I dream big and have all these major ideas of what I could do with my life, and all this opportunity given to me now. Still, I'm 26 next year, so I'm getting older. I have a lot of ideas that I could do and would like to do and enjoy doing, like my music, but I like fashion as well. Like, I'm in my rock outfit today, so I'm blessing that one up for a change. I feel like rock's giving me a bit more freedom instead of me trying to fit into any category. Rock seems to, for me, seems to let loose my, or it gives me a bit more freedom to express myself in different ways. That's why I like the clothing that I'm in today. It's just an old blazer, sort of ripped off, sleeveless thing that I wear over my jumper, my hoodie, as you can tell, and my black baseball cap. It's simple, all black as usual, but I try and fit some colour in there if I can. But it's especially when you, like we say, if you're depressed and you find black things to wear, but that's the majority of how it feels. People think like that, like, how do I explain it? Like a lot of depressive people wear black all the time, but it's not always like that. There are people who wear the mask every day and that smile, put that smile on their face every day, that are suffering with depression and suffering with anxiety. And like I said, I want to be talking about anxiety a bit more, because for me, when anxiety hits me, it's where normally I've had bad memories. I've had bad memories of those places being that like that. Like, I go to the studio for my music in Newark, and that's a bad place for me. That gets me up here mentally, and it makes me feel that in my heart, like, that something bad is going to happen to me while I'm there. But I know nothing bad's going to happen to me. It's just that bad reminder of what happened and what, like, through my mental health before I became ill. So excuse me. It's my journey started when I was about 18, 19. I left Scarborough and went to Newark and moved in with my dad. And then all of a sudden I became quite ill. And it was hard for me to deal with. I'm speaking around what I did. I'm not really going into too much detail. I want to keep these videos light. I don't want to saturate you with my darkness, or if that's the right word to use. I'm not too sure. I tried, like, I I tried killing myself, and I believe I succeeded with that. But then I saw the light. I raised up into the light. Then I was held in that light until I was ready to come through and pass through my darkness, where I was held in warmth and comfort back to my body. And that's when I became reborn and back to myself. That's what I believe. Um, and then um, that's where I met my spirit, or my personal guide called Greg, who has over the years taught me how to be myself in a retrospective grade, almost like, because he teaches me certain things that I shouldn't do, even though he protects me from myself and from others who try to intrude on myself on my own part, because like I don't really speak to people about him or things like that, because I've talked about him for so long. Like it started out with the darkest soul can provide the brightest light. And I said that to my mum when I first became ill, and I think she remembers that. Um, uh, and yeah, it really got to me, like my illness. I wasn't sure who I was. I was standing there like this, like, oh, someone please help me, and I just needed that understanding. And I found these understandings for myself recently. I had a dream last night, and funnily enough, I was talking to the same person this morning who was in my dream last night, funnily enough, but I was reading a book last night. Like I said on the video that I posted, I don't read books, but the only books that I'm able to read is from a bit from the Bible. I can read that. I read it. I don't read it page by page. I pick a page and then I read a few chapters. I don't go fully, like, start from the beginning, read the Bible all the way through, because I don't believe that's how it should be read. I believe it should be read for, like it says, the categories in the beginning. It says faith, how to be faithful, things like that, and other little bits, and then you pick which one you want to read, and then you read that for forgiveness or for prosperity and things like that. My darkness is like it's difficult to explain, because let me say it some way, because my darkness really held me through the mental health side of things when I was going through those bad times, being stuck in mental health hospitals. It sort of gave me a bit of, let's say, fun. Even though I was ill, it still was. It made Greg made it fun, or almost helped me to cope with being in that environment and around those type of people. Not that there's a type of people, because it's not. I just mean, for me, being in there, we and other people who have been in institutes and stuff like that, we as people sort of misunderstand, and I think I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but I think I've heard this, and I think sin actually means the misunderstanding of one's experience. That's what apparently sin means. So it's a misunderstanding of what is going on at that time. And yeah, I think what goes on within darkness, there's always a light there, because something has to illuminate the room so we can all see what happens within darkness and within our lives of shelter and comfort, as we all have some have homes, and what goes on within the family and what people are doing